Hello, welcome back to another video from me, Danielle, and welcome back to our channel. Big things are happening. We are having a fourth baby, and I have big goals. I am not even joking. These goals are extreme, and they might be ones that people think are unhealthy, possibly. So stay tuned. Maybe you are one of those people. But hey, if you believe that, that's fine. But I do know my body and I do know myself. So here is my major goal. When I have this baby, it'll probably be either last week of December or first week of January, somewhere in that range. My goal is by the time I turn 30, which is coming up just in March 10th, I'll be 30, I want to lose basically all the baby weight. My goal weight is like 145, which is not exactly my best weight, but it's very close. My goal weight is usually between 130 and 135 when I'm like in, I would say, race shape, but I am coming up very, very close, and I want to make sure that that happens. And I have a whole plan and a whole strategy for it. You know what? The reason why I think I can do it is because I have had 3 other babies, and with all 3 babies by 6 months, I was back to basically before pregnancy weight. Composition of my body was different, of course, but I actually felt stronger every baby. Before I got pregnant with this baby, I was in the best shape of probably my entire life. So I'm hoping that I can use some of that momentum and just get rolling on it. But here are the top 7 things that I'm going to be doing to make sure that I can achieve this goal. I'm a very goal-oriented person, and if I can't reach this goal, I'm going to be pissed at myself. So stay tuned for that. But my plan with this is to have these 7 steps that I'm going to follow, and I have a whole training calendar for it. But I'm going to follow it. I'm going to make shorts every day to keep me accountable for it. And you guys can tell me when I'm falling off track and saying, hey, you're crazy and this is never going to work, because maybe I'm crazy and it's never going to work. But you never know until you try, right? So that's where I'm at. So let's jump into it. Tip number 1. I think the main thing that's going to help me with getting back into shape as quick as possible is the fact that I have not stopped exercising. Yes, I've stopped running as many miles. Usually I run about 3 or 4 miles every run that I run. I'm not running every day of the week like I was before I got pregnant. I am running usually 3 to 4 now. I would have preferred to run 5 to 6, but I just haven't had the ability with scheduling and just how I've been feeling. I've had some pretty rough mornings, and staying up too late probably hasn't helped. And having some insomnia probably hasn't helped. But that's okay. We are powering through, and as long as I keep the running up, and I'm still having pretty good times with pushing the stroller, and I'm talking 2 kids in the stroller, I'm still running 10-minute miles, which I think is pretty good at 32 weeks pregnant. I mean, I'm not complaining about that. So if I can keep that up all the way until the end of pregnancy, that is going to be huge for me. I actually am going in for an ultrasound this Friday because the baby is measuring a little ahead of time, like 3 weeks ahead of time. So they just want to make sure there's not too much water or the baby's not abnormally growing too large or something. I think he just is laying low and very forward, which is not helping my stomach shape or the pains that I'm having during running. But that's okay. We're going to power through. Like I said, it's all about powering through and just not giving up. I mean, that's life, right? As long as you can power through and not give up, you can do a lot of things that you didn't know that you could do. Number 2, creating a training plan. So this actually came in the mail yesterday, and I'm a big believer in like actual, not electronic, but actual planners. Excuse my nails. They're beautiful right now, right? But these actual planners right here are a lifesaver. I mean, I'm saying if you can write in here what your workouts are going to be, it's so much easier to actually see what you're going to be doing. Now, of course, I'm in January here. I haven't written anything because I don't know when this baby's going to be born. I do have on a little note card. I have on a note card written out what I want to do and like mileage wise, what my goals are for like, hey, how fast I should be, when and where. But that's what I'm going to go off of. And then once I have the baby, I can fill in the actual days that my training will start. My plan is to run every day. Now, does that mean I'm going to be running 6-7 miles every day like I do, you know, when I'm in tip-top shape? No. If I can get a mile in every day, that is a big accomplishment. And here's the thing that's going to be very controversial. And I've done this with every baby. I do not wait 6 weeks to start exercising. I do not wait 6 weeks to get back to running. I start exercising basically a couple days after the baby is born. Why? Number 1 reason here. My mental state. If I do not exercise, I am in a bad mental state. I need to have some sort of movement, whether that is jog walks, long walks, weightlifting, whatever it is. I need to have something right away when I have the baby. I start walking the minute I get home from the hospital. I'm talking when that baby comes out, we go on a walk. I don't care what the weather is. I've had babies in the winter and spring, and we just go out and we do it because I need that for myself. And it's good to for the other kids to also get out and like have their normal schedule. Since we go on walks every day, rain or shine, we're always out there. So that has helped, is just making sure I'm always moving. And having kids, I think, will help because I'm always moving with them. They always got to be doing something. They always got to be playing. And I like having that busy atmosphere in my life. So just keeping that up, even with the newborn, is going to be huge, which I was able to do it with Robert, my third. So I'm thinking with fourth, it won't be very much different because it's kind of like same rigmarole, everything's going. Second was actually the hardest because I still kind of had a baby with James, and then Richard was a baby. So that was the most adjustment period for me personally. So yes, have a schedule. Have a schedule for what we're going to do exercise-wise. One thing that is going to help me is that we actually have a home gym. I'm not going to call it the best home gym ever, but it has a bike, it has a treadmill, and we have some weights, and we're going to add a little bit more to that as the year goes on. We do have a Y membership right now too, but we're probably going to cancel that because it's just a lot easier to work out from home. So we're going to add a few more things to our actual home gym that'll make it easier to work out from home. So that will also help me quite a bit because I can work out at 5 a.m. I can work out at 9 p.m. It doesn't matter because we have everything here, and it's going to be winter. So we are predicted to have a mild winter here in Iowa, but either way, I can run on the treadmill at night, or I can run in the morning outside. It really just depends on when I can get my workout in, as long as I get it in. And I started out this year running 66 days straight. And I am hoping that momentum and that mindset that I had there can kind of click and get back in as soon as I have this baby, because that will help me lose the weight very fast. That goes on to number 3, which is making a challenge for myself. So with this calendar and this planning, I am going to do some sort of challenge. I don't know if it's going to be 66 days, 60 days, 50 days, but I need to come up with whatever that number is going to be for me to run every day or, get 2 movements in every day. I even considered doing 75 hard, but we'll see, because I know that that's a hard one to follow, and breastfeeding does make you have weird cravings, and hormones after pregnancy can have you weird cravings diet-wise. So I don't want to break the diet part of it. I think I'm going to be pretty good at keeping the exercise part. It's always a diet part, which is why 75 hard might be a little too much for me to kick off right after having a baby, but we'll see. But I am going to come up with some sort of challenge. In fact, I'll probably come up with my own custom challenge. I'll put it out here on YouTube in case you guys want to follow it with me to start off the new year, since this will be a New Year's baby. And we can do it together, and that'll keep me motivated as well. So hopefully you guys will join along with me on whatever that challenge ends up being. I'll probably announce it next week or the week after, because now we are coming down to crunch time with this baby, especially if it's going to be born early, if it's big. So we will see when that challenge will start. It'll start whenever I get home from the hospital. So probably either, like I said, end of the year or beginning of next year. Number 4, and this is not exercise related, but it's more mental related. Read something every night. So I started out last year by reading Think and Grow Rich. If you have not read that book and you want to be a successful person, read that book. That book is life-changing. It made my mindset so crazy good, and it got me through some hard times at the beginning of the year. We're still in our growth period, I would say, as a family, as entrepreneurs, as building our businesses. And I know that books don't always help you the most at like practical skills, but with mindset and just keep going and keep pushing, the more books you read, I do think the better. So I would say if you want a book recommendation, one of my favorite books ever is Think and Grow Rich. It is amazing. Definitely read it. I have a lot of people who give me great recommendations for books, so I just got to get a list of all the ones that they say I should read and go from there. But reading like a half an hour every night really does put you in a good mindset right before you go to bed, and you just kind of wake up feeling better. At least I did when I did that, and I was in a good routine of it. So I need to get back into that. Probably now would be a good time to get back into that. Here's one that's also going to be pretty controversial, and a lot of people tell you not to do it, but it's really the only way that I am like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. This is working. I'm going to weigh myself every day. And I know that that can be good and bad, because if you have a day where your weight goes up, you might feel like crap. But if you have a day where your weight goes down a couple pounds, you're going to feel really good. And the one thing I know about my own self, because I do know my body so well, and I do know just how weight works because I've been dieting and exercising since I was 13 years old, I don't let the scale affect me that much, especially after time like having a baby, because I know your hormones are all over the place. You're retaining water. You're losing the retained water. So there will be big fluctuations. So I don't really mind weighing myself every day. And for me, it's just a good standard to be like, okay, things are going down gradually. Like, that's what I want to see. But, if you're a person who doesn't like the weight, don't like the scale, and that really affects you, don't do it. But for me, it's really not a mental drain. It's more like a mental benchmark that I want to hit. Committing on social media, that is number 6 for me. And what I mean by that is I'm going to be posting shorts and Instagram reels basically daily, just about my exercise and updates on my journey, because I want to commit to the highest level to say, hey, I'm doing this, it's going to happen, and I am not going to give up. So I am committing myself right now. I'm putting it on the internet right now. I'm going to make sure that I post about it every day because that's the only way I'm going to keep to it and keep it scheduled. Number 7, probably the most important thing, I can't stress about it. I just got to do it. If you're a person who really gets wrapped up in like the overthinking of everything, which honestly I'm not, I kind of underthink things and just do them, which can work out for me really great or can be really bad. But hey, I've had a fun life because of that. But I am just going to do it, not think about it, and make it happen, because I have found out in life, if I just go for full-fledged forward with something, I'm usually better off, and I usually can make things happen easier and quicker than if I overthink it, have to have this perfect plan. And that's just never been me. I'm not a planner. I'm more of a doer. So that's why something like this, a challenge that's like 50 days is great for me. Because if I had to think about it as like, this is the whole year, you got to follow this, I don't think I could stick to it. But if it's something where it's short term and it's like a catalyst, I think I'm going to be better at it, because that usually is how things have worked out for me in life. And this is a bonus, number 8. I'm signing up for a race. I'm going to sign up for the Abraham Lincoln Springfield, birthday race in April. I don't know. I looked it up the other week because I was kind of trying to find something in April or May. This is beginning of April. So a little quicker than I probably would have typically ran a marathon after having a baby. I'm only going to do the half. I'm not doing the marathon. But Eric also told me he wants to do a marathon with me. And I said, okay, let's do this half marathon together and let's start there. And the funny thing is we're probably going to have to run with the babies. We will see. If we run with the babies, that is going to be a special moment, but also make the race that much harder. So I'm excited. I haven't signed us up yet, but I have the tab up on my computer and I just got to register us. And then we got to make it happen, right? Once you pay that money, that for me, monetary value, if I have to pay for something, I'm going to do it because I don't want to lose out on that cash. Well, guys, that is my ways that I'm going to lose basically all the baby weight, which that could be 30 pounds, 40 pounds. I don't know, because I am not at the end of my pregnancy yet. By the time that I turn 30, so 2 months after having this baby. And I know I can do it because my mind's right. My mindset is there and my motivation is there. So if you like this video, guys, please give it a like. If you want to follow along my journey here, definitely subscribe to this channel, and I will have new content coming out weekly right here on YouTube. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Danielle Hollembaeks, 2 Ks there. And that's I post stuff almost every day there, and I'm always active in stories there too. So thanks for listening, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.